You ready?
I'm ready to go.
Are you ready? Break. All right, guys. Well, oh, fuck. All right, ready? All right. Serious.
I make people nervous.
Serious talk. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Iron Vault Podcast. If you guys are watching on YouTube, I say this every fucking time. Click that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and comment down below who you want as our next guest. I feel like we are rolling with the guests.
Yeah.
We're on a roll.
Got a big guest today, Taylor Atwood.
Big guest. Yo, let him calm down.
Oh, all right.
Calm
Can
himself
introduce
out.
yourself.
Introduce yourself.
Go ahead.
For like the... Okay, before you do that really quickly, what do you think, how many people do you think watching know who he is?
I'd say like 50% maybe.
50?
I mean, most people who watch us go to the gym or know about lifting, so they probably know who he is.
Yeah. I
assume.
still don't know who he is. But introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, so thank you guys for having me on.
You're welcome.
I've known Mo for, I guess, almost 3 years now.
Hell yeah, brother.
About.
And Chris, I've met you like
around the same time. Yeah,
around the same time. But I see him pretty much all the time. You're kind of in the cut, but
I come here and there.
He works in the background. It's okay.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
No, thank you guys. So again, my name's Taylor Atwood. I'm a power lifter. I lift in the International Powerlifting Federation, IPF. I'm a 2-time world champion, 7-time national champion in the USAPL. That's our national federation.
Fuck yeah.
Most people that are probably listening, you see me in the gym lifting a shit ton of weight. Yeah. That's about it.
Fuck yeah.
So hoping that you guys get a little bit more into who Taylor Atwood is on this podcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
and that's what we want. We want, like, so basically when we first started it, like the whole idea around this is it's not supposed to be really like individual. Like we don't want to make it about like the guess is important, but like it's your mind, your perspective about something that's really important. Because like I said, not every single person that comes on like is going to be you. Mm-hmm. And that's what we were talking about. We're like, damn, we're setting the bar like kind of high.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I don't want it to be like that. Like I want your perspective because you're a GOAT, you're a winner. So we're trying to get everyone's perspective.
Yeah, people want to hear about what you think on different topics, like not just powerlifting, because everyone knows like you for powerlifting. So let's hear about something besides powerlifting, pretty much.
No, I appreciate that because I've been on numerous podcasts where it's literally the same shit over and over, and I was like, fuck, if this is the same thing, I'm pissed.
So that was like our goal. I'm like, I don't want to talk about like powerlifting. Like we'll touch on it.
Yeah.
But like it's not supposed to be about that. It's supposed to be about like the mind. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, to give the audience, the people, the 50% that may not know who I am or what the background, like the powerlifting is a big aspect of.
Yeah, obviously.
Why
it's who
I'm
you are
even here and
so we can actually get right into that now. Actually, so how do you get started with powerlifting? Because I know you didn't start out with it, right?
No. So I guess in the wise words of Alex Hitchens.
I don't know who that is. So.
The movie Hitch.
There you go.
With Will Smith.
That's better.
Okay.
You don't know where you're going unless you know where you've been. So,
all right. You know what? Put that on a T-shirt. Write that down. Write that down. Hurry up.
So before I get into powerlifting, I have to give you a background as to who Taylor Atwood is because I think that'll help kind of preface the whole powerlifting realm and again, the mindset and who I am. So I started out playing sports at a very young age. I was like 6 years old when I started flag football. I grew up in South Florida, so very big sport scene for football, basketball, whatever major sport you can think of. And the talent down there is absolutely amazing. So
this episode is sponsored by Tough Cuts Jerky. Tough Cuts is an all-natural handmade snack packed with low calories and more than enough protein to keep you satisfied. Tough Cuts Jerky is also made with no added preservatives and is MSG free. Visit www.toughcutsjerky.com to get yours now.
So I have to preface kind of this whole podcast and why you're on here is where my competitive nature comes from, who Taylor Atwood is. And the first thing that comes to mind are my cousins. My cousins are essentially the ones that made me who I am today in terms of why I'm so competitive. So we played every sport you could think of, grew up in Florida, South Florida, and I was over their house. They were my family, immediate family, even though they're cousins. They're pretty much my immediate family because I was with them all the time. And I wanted to emulate everything they did. So they were very competitive in football, basketball, and football mainly. So I stuck to football and did really well.
I don't think you'd be really good at basketball. I'm just saying.
Funny story. So
No,
yes,
it's okay.
I'm only 5'6", for those listening. I'm only 5'6". However, growing up, I loved basketball more than football, and I was really good at football, but I was way better at basketball. But my dad always told me he can't grow me height-wise, but he can grow me this way. So I had to pick one sport that I knew I was actually going to
You got to pick your battles.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. You got
Gotta
to choose. Basketball was not it for me. And football was it. So and to be honest, I did really well at basketball. Like I loved basketball. I actually played more basketball than football. But again, my whole mom's side of the family, they're all 5'9" and below. My dad's side, they were actually tall, 5'10". My grandfather was 6'2".
Jesus.
But I didn't get their genes.
Oh, listen, fuck it.
So from a competitive perspective, it was all of my cousins, and that's kind of why I even wanted to get into any type of competitive sport after I was finished. So I had a chance to go play in the CFL. I did really well in high school with football, did well in college, got to play all 4 years, went to the CFL, Canadian football, played for the BC Lions. I got cut a year later. I'm at ease with that now.
I know how that feels. It's okay.
Same.
I can finally get that off my chest and accept it.
It's okay.
So once I was finished, I had to go. I went into the workforce, and I got a chance to work with IBM in Rochester, Minnesota. And I still wanted to work out. I liked fitness. So I was at the gym, and I saw this natural bodybuilder, and he was in great shape. He was getting ready for a show, natural bodybuilder. And I went up to him because I'm an extrovert, and I was like, hey, like you're in great shape. What are you doing? Because I didn't know, one, he was a natural bodybuilder. Like, he was in great shape.
Yeah, he's like one of those, like, gym dudes.
Yeah,
You're like, damn,
and I think at the time, he was like 4% body fat.
Jesus.
He was like 2 or 3 days out from a show, and he was kind of just warming up and whatnot. But he was in great shape, so I went up to him, and we got to talking, and he mentioned that one of the people that are training him right now is the strength guys, Jason Tremblay. And I was like, oh, cool.
This is before he was strength guys, or he was strength guys back then.
No, it was the strength guys,
okay.
yeah. So talking with him, he kind of just was like, well, you're in good shape. Have you ever thought about bodybuilding or anything? And I was like, well, I played football, gave him my whole background, and we stayed friends over the next couple months. And one day, like, we would always miss each other when we were working out, and we were finally there together. And he saw me benching, I think it was like 365 in a local gym in Rochester, Minnesota. Rochester had like 100,000 people. So, and not many, like, no one wants to live in fucking Rochester.
Yeah.
It's cold as shit. It's dreary. Winter is like 8 months out of the year.
It's depressing. You could say that's fine.
So he sees me benching 365. He comes up to me and he's like, dude, you're strong as hell. Like, have you ever thought about powerlifting? I was like, what the fuck is powerlifting? Like, what? And so this was back in 2014. This was before the whole social media wave and, like, I would say raw powerlifting was still fairly new then. There was only 3 world championships before that. I think it started in like 2010 or so, 2011. So it was still new.
Yeah.
And I just stumbled upon it. So I wasn't looking for powerlifting. Powerlifting was looking for me or found me.
Yeah. Well, your first ever meet is on YouTube.
Yeah. In Rochester.
It is.
Or in Minnesota.
Yeah.
What
It's
year was
funny
that?
too.
That was
That was the same year or next year.
2014?
it was 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
And
got like
it was like August or September.
Yeah, he's got like a really funny haircut.
Oh my God. I was
He's progressed.
such a noob, dude.
He's got like the definition of a glow up. Like weird haircut, now he's got a nice haircut. Like form, you're just like, damn, bro.
Oh, it was bad. It was horrible.
But it's funny though to see it.
But that's the thing is, powerlifting was so new.
Yeah.
I couldn't go onto YouTube like today and just have a shit ton of information out there,
Instagram,
or have anything.
Media,
Right.
Like the fitness industry back then on YouTube was Christian Guzman, Max Tuning, Johnny Candido, and Nick Wright. That was it. And then and they weren't in powerlifting.
I remember Max tried powerlifting.
Yeah, and even then it was like it still wasn't like what it is right now.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, man, you talk about glow up. Holy shit.
Yeah, go. We won't clip it though. We can put it in the bio so people can watch it.
Yeah, so
It is funny to watch.
that's how I got into powerlifting.
Yeah.
Did you ever imagine that you like would ever go into something like this, like bodybuilding or powerlifting when you were younger, or nah? Like, you always thought like football.
Yeah, that was the number one thing, man. But my dad always joked with me. He's like, dude, you're going to be the strongest in the world one day. I was like, shut the fuck up. What are you and my dad's hyping me up. You know what I mean? Like, you know how dads
That's what
are.
dads always do.
Yeah, right. Like, and
funny.
especially I had, like, not even, like, trying to be conceited or anything. Just, I had a really good high school career in football.
Yeah.
Like, you can Google me. I led Broward County, which is one of the best counties in South Florida for football. I led the county in rushing. I was second. I had the single game rushing record, and I broke until fucking Derrick Henry.
Oh,
he scored like
that's
12 touchdowns
that's a good
in
person
one
to beat
game.
record
he's pretty
for you.
good. Yeah. So
So yeah, I was
he's
really
from
good.
Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yulee. It's like Central
I
Florida.
didn't know that. I thought he was from Georgia.
Nah.
I
Grew up in
no idea.
Central Florida.
It's the same thing anyway, so it's okay.
But yeah, so having being really good, he was always like, I've always been strong, but I was only lifting weights for football.
For football. Yeah.
I never lifted it to be strong or the strongest. But my dad was always like, you can be the strongest one day. I was like, shut the fuck up.
I feel like most people have the same story. They started in sports, and then it was an easy. It's an easy transition to go from playing a sport to being in the fitness industry. It's an easier transition than from being a nobody, never having a sport background, trying to work out. You know what I'm saying? Like you have the foundation.
Yeah.
Like you were playing football. It was an easier transition than from someone that's like, I'm gonna go learn how to deadlift and deadlift 800 pounds.
Well, that's the thing. I think the barrier to entry into fitness is so low.
Oh yeah.
That everyone thinks they can do it.
That's what we were talking about, Nick, last episode. It was like the problem with the fitness industry right now is it's so oversaturated. It's like a lot of industries, but it's so oversaturated because you have so many people that like they buy a pair of Gymshark shorts and they're like, oh yeah, I'm a trainer now. It's like,
Yeah, and Instagram has only like perpetuated that. And
it's
blown it
fucking
up, really.
sent that to the moon.
course.
It's crazy. But, well, so again, when during like the lockdown stuff, what I said was when the lockdown first happened, it kind of like it like evened the playing field, I think, for a lot of like people that were on Instagram, like fitness people, because like there was so much hype around powerlifting. Like it was like people would go to the gym just wearing a new outfit or like wearing new slippers, and they would just try to like PR, like hit a fucking big gym lift just for the hype of it. It kind of like evened the playing field, I feel like a lot of people, like it showed who the people actually had real strength that could come out of it versus the people that were like only doing it for the hype.
Well, I think what the pandemic really showed us as a fitness community was who was mentally strong.
Yeah. 100%.
And who was kind of just doing it for clout.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I'll get shit for that, but
no, I think who gives a shit?
Yeah,
you're right. You're not wrong. It exposed a lot of people.
It did, and it also some people just didn't have access to equipment.
Obviously,
So
that's the part.
But the people that
different.
did, but the people that did, they were all like, I need the extrinsic motivation.
Exactly. Yep.
The people at the gym. Showing up and all eyes on me. It's like, nah, man.
It removed that.
Fuck
that. It humbled. That's why I said even the playing field.
Yeah.
It like made these people that were like all hype kind of like, oh, like you're nothing. Yeah. Not that you're nothing. That it just evened the playing field. I feel like. I got shit for saying that. I was like, I listen. Not everyone had a gym. But at the same time, like, if
So-
your social media was only built around clout and built around the gym and hitting PRs every day, like,
So this, all right. So I have 90,000 on Instagram right now, and I have to be careful of what I say because I have so many people that follow me that don't really understand who I am. Mm-hmm. They don't understand really my mindset, and like I've posted a few controversial things, and I'm not going to talk about it, but I'll just say I've posted a few
controversial.
Yeah, I would say controversial because I don't want to. It wasn't like really controversial,
No,
but
it's your opinion.
It's an
people.
opinion of
And that's the
of
problem.
some other people. And what I think I did a bad job of doing is kind of telling my audience why I even care.
Yeah.
Right. If I would have given kind of the perspective of, well, look, powerlifting, yeah, it's not a huge sport like football or basketball or baseball, but I take this shit serious, and there's a lot of and again, the barrier to entry into powerlifting or fitness in general is very low.
Very low.
So you have a lot of people in here, and you say it's saturated, but you see the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
You see who's at the top right now and who's taking it serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I do. And I treat powerlifting like it is football, basketball, like I'm playing in the NBA or NFL.
Yeah.
If you saw my daily regimen, if you saw my workouts, if you saw my mental state
I see
and
it,
how
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of I have a team.
Mm-hmm.
I have a team that helps me, a nutritionist, a coach. I have my dad, my family, my close ones, everyone helping me in terms of just getting me to the state of progression, I would say.
Yeah.
And what I think a lot of people lose sight of is they don't know what it truly takes to be great. And when for me, I don't expect everyone to know where I'm coming from. And and that's a fault of mine too, is because I have such high expectations of myself, and I hold myself to those standards, and I discipline myself to keep those standards. Some people don't know what it even takes to get there.
Yeah.
And
they think they see it.
They think they know. They think they can empathize, and they
Yeah.
think they know what it takes to get to stay number one and be number one and to win a championship. And again, they'll say it's powerlifting. Yo, shut the fuck up.
There's a lot behind it.
Have you
like
ever
every
won
sport.
anything in your life? Ever?
They're the
Have you-
trolls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we were talking about that last episode.
And people just undermine the hard work that it takes. Because look at bodybuilding. Yeah. I wouldn't even want to step shoes in someone in prep getting ready for a bodybuilding show.
Yeah, they're miserable because
They're
they're
miserable.
going to extreme lengths.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like some women lose their period. Men lose their sex drive.
People have been seriously injured because they compete, and that's the same thing like UFC. Like UFC,
Yeah.
fighters are trying to fix the weight classes and stuff because they're like, this is I'm gonna die.
Right.
Like you could die from some of these weight cuts that some of these fighters have to do. The same with powerlifting weight cuts. Some of you guys go through ridiculous weight. Not you. Some people go through ridiculous weight cuts to make a weight. That
Right.
It's like,
And-
what are you doing?
And this is where I have a problem with a lot of our community, is because they think that powerlifting isn't up to that standard of an NFL or an Olympic. It's not an Olympic sport
Yeah.
yet. So it's like, oh, they just continuously throw it under the bus. Like it's nothing. It's just a sport. It's a hobby. Like, shut the fuck up. It's not a hobby.
I hate people. I hate that.
What are your thoughts on powerlifting in the Olympics? You think it'll ever get in, or?
Yeah, I think one day.
It'll go, yeah.
We have great traction on it right now.
Yeah.
We're a part of the IOC, which is the Olympic Committee. It's just a matter of time.
The problem with powerlifting getting to the Olympics is it's people that don't understand it already assume that it's in the Olympics because they see Olympic weightlifting. They see that and they're like, oh, it's already in. Who cares? It's not. It's completely different.
It's completely different.
That's the problem is you have to educate people on powerlifting.
There's a difference.
Yeah, there's difference. Go back to, let's talk about the mindset thing. Before we were planning this, what I was telling him for topics and stuff is I think What are the 2 words you said about motivation?
Oh, so you don't know what they are, right?
No.
So it's intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. So for people who are watching,
I don't know what that word means.
Yeah, if you don't know,
I just know how to describe it. So basically, what I was saying was, there are different types of people that get motivated by different types of things. Mm-hmm. I've always been told, and I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I've always been told that like having a negative motivational factor is cancerous. Like it's not healthy. It's not whatever. Like saying like, oh, fuck that guy. Like I'm going to do this because he told me I couldn't is apparently negative. But what I was saying was I live my life like that. Mm-hmm. Like it's helped me through everything. It's like a motivational aspect of like all the people that said like, oh, you couldn't. Even like when I played lacrosse, like when I was in high school, I did the same thing as you. Like in high school, I broke every fucking record. I was like the number 1 player in my class. Like I was a sophomore and I was still the number 1 player at my position in 3 classes above me. Mm-hmm. And I always was motivated by the people that were like, oh, you can't play Division I lacrosse. Mm-hmm. Or you're like, I'll never forget this kid, one of my friends. I was like so high. I was the kid that like would go out in public, like bring my stick with me. Or I was the kid that was like I would always wear something lacrosse. I was like the lax bro growing up, and people made fun of me. But I remember this kid that I played with. I'm not gonna say his name. I don't know if you're listening. But I remember one day at practice, I was talking about I want to go Duke, or I was gonna go do this tournament, and he was like, he looked at me in the face and he was like, bro, you will never play Division I lacrosse. You're not good enough. And like I lived my whole life through that, and that's why like when I went and played Division I was like in the back of my mind, I'm like, fuck that guy. Mm-hmm. Like I pushed myself, and that's a negative motivational force, I guess is what it's called. But that's what I was gonna say to you is, do you have a positive or whatever words he used, like what motivates you?
So that's actually intrinsic motivation.
That's called intrinsic. See, this is why. Listen,
I was trying to explain it, and you just cut me off. So.
I bomb the SATs. If that's an SAT word, don't worry about that.
That wouldn't have been on. It's not a logic test.
Yeah.
That's behavioral.
Okay.
So intrinsic and extrinsic, there's a lot of research that has actually been done.
Okay, so he knows more. So okay, let him educate our audience. So he's firing out the big words.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's essentially like the carrot and the stick.
Okay.
So carrot is dangling it out in front of you, and you're going to try to reach it, right? Mm-hmm. That's extrinsic motivation.
Okay.
The stick is it's intrinsic to an extent, but it's a little more than that. But the carrot, like for me, I would say it's more intrinsically. More intrinsically motivated than anything else, because again, in powerlifting, there's not a lot of money involved.
Yeah.
So that would be an extrinsic motivation. Mm-hmm. The clout is. I'm not really doing it for that. You look at my Instagram, it's just squat, bench, deadlift.
Pretty much, yeah.
Fuck it.
I'm doing my best to.
I remember one time someone at the gym was like, oh, like, he was trying to introduce himself, and he's like, yeah, like, this is what I do, and he showed him his Instagram, and I'm like, it's just the same video. I'm like, that's literally what he does, but like, it's okay. Look. And he's really, really good at it.
That's what I'm not like your social media influencer. Yeah. I'm not an influencer. I have a real job. I have a family. We'll get into that. We were talking about it before, Chris. But I would say the things that motivate me, and it's not really motivation, because there's times where I don't even want to be in the fucking gym.
Yeah, we
have it on our notes here, but I would say it's more called just discipline. Right. It really is, man.
Yeah.
And the discipline of just getting to whatever it is, you have to set a goal for yourself. And for me, it's just constant progression. That has been my mantra in my entire life, is just get better.
So that's what motivates you, is to get better every day.
I don't want to take Russ Swole's shit.
As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, wow.
It's get better. He has the GBT brand, and I love it because it is. It's get better, but it's more than that. It's just something that continuously, even if you don't want to get better today, it's having the discipline to at least maintain your status quo.
Yeah.
Right?
Because motivation runs out eventually, right?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Like there's only so much someone goes. Let's say you go to a motivational speech in a huge auditorium.
Yeah, no.
Some people don't.
No,
but like people come out of that thing.
Fired. Oh
up.
yeah. Oh no, the aspect of the motivational talks.
Yeah.
I understand the premise of them. I just always say that those types of things, like the first episode I talked about where, like, I don't want to be told how to, like, if I need to be motivated, I'm not in it then. Like, I was the person in the huddles that I was on the back of the huddle because I don't want you, if you're yelling at me, screaming at me, like trying to get me hyped up, it doesn't help me. If I'm not motivated in it, then I don't worry about me, then let me figure it out. Which, again, it might be negative, but that's the way that I always thought about it.
Yeah. So, for me, again, it's more intrinsic. Like, I just want to make sure that I have the discipline. I know I have a goal that I want to reach, and setting my time and setting my goals to reach that one goal, that's kind of what keeps me going from a discipline standpoint. And it's not just, look, man, there's times where I just want to sleep in.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get up. And
that's human nature.
Yeah.
It is.
And it's like, all right, well, it's not, okay, I'm thinking about, well, the motivation of I have to get up because if I don't get up, someone else is. But like that doesn't enter my mind at all.
I don't think like that either. Our dad always used to be like, second best always tries harder. Which I 100% second best. Like, listen, I've been
you're
second
compensating
best.
for something.
But then like sometimes he'd be like, second best, try harder. I'd be like, I gotta go outside and do it. But
well, all right. So yeah, there's times I'm not gonna say that motivation isn't a thing because it truly is. And there's times where I talk to myself where I'm like, there's someone else trying to outwork me today. I'm not gonna let them do that. So sure, I could use that as motivation. But it's the discipline of getting back into the gym or whatever your respective goal is. Yeah. Making sure that if you just want to play the piano, go play piano, go learn the music, go do something. For me, it's been the gym and getting stronger. And I had to surround myself with people that knew more than I did.
Yeah. Which is humbling sometimes for many different reasons.
Look, man, my whole upbringing, I was surrounded by great strength and conditioning coaches. And I didn't know shit, but I knew enough. Once I got into powerlifting, you look at my first video, I didn't know shit.
Yeah.
But I was strong. I knew enough to make sure that I was doing what I needed to do to make sure I was competitive. Yeah. But when it came down to, all right, do I want to take this seriously? That's where it was like, all right, Taylor, you need to go find someone that knows more than you and someone that actually like knows what they're doing so that you can reach your goal. Right. Yeah. And again, you call that humble. I say the same thing. I had to humble myself because I was very arrogant. I was strong, but not strong. I was strong for back then.
Yeah, yeah. You had a foundation.
Yeah.
But like what you said about like what we talked about, the humbling part right there, like in the first episode I talked about like building a business. Like if you're asking me the questions, you're not built for the life. Mm-hmm. I wasn't saying it as like a motivational aspect. I was talking about like as an entrepreneur aspect. Mm-hmm. But I agree, the same thing. Like you surround yourselves with better competition, you compete at a higher level. Like when you surround yourselves with like the stronger people, you're going to push yourself, but you're going to learn at the same time. So like, okay, we sell you, we use you, right? So basically when someone comes in and they're like, oh, I just want to get into powerlifting. We have a member who came in like 3 or 4 months ago and he's like, yeah, like I want to get stronger. Can I get a personal trainer? And I was like very honest with him. I was like, listen, like you're better off signing up for a membership here because you could be deadlifting next to people that triple your total. You will learn more by surrounding yourselves with good people like that, like Taylor Atwood, like Kevin, like these big name guys, because it'll motivate you. You could watch them. You can get tips from them. Everyone's helpful here. I was like, that's what you want to do. You want to surround yourselves with better people, higher competition, elevate your game.
Oh, yeah. And all right, so I guess from a motivation standpoint, I don't have many people in the gym that truly motivate me.
So every time we have someone come on, we talk about that. We talk about like there's not one person in this world that I'm like, I want to be like that guy.
Yeah.
And so go off of that. What do you think?
So I'm the same way. I don't get starstruck. I don't hold anyone in a higher standard than me. We're all human beings at the end of the day.
So like if Tom Brady walked in.
What's up, Tom?
On shit.
Like,
pull up a chair.
Honestly, you're the fucking GOAT. But like, you have this inflated reality of what a celebrity is, and I don't even want to, like, when people fanboy over me, I'm like, chill, man.
When people
Relax.
come in, they're like, "Oh my God, is like Taylor here?"
Yeah.
Like, what time does he come in? I'm like, well, I'm not telling you now because like he came in guns blazing. 2, I don't know what you want with him. So I'm like, yeah, maybe he might be here. I don't know.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm flattered.
Oh yeah,
100%, and I appreciate, like, I don't know. I don't realize the inspiration that I give to people at times. So that motivation, where I'm in the gym, not many people give me that motivation. But if someone comes in and they see me squatting when I'm squatting or deadlift, whatever it may be, and they're like, damn, if he can do it, I can do it too.
yeah.
That's motivation. That's extrinsic motivation.
So do those people that come in that are watching you and like asking for your help and like watching you like work out, do they motivate you? Like, is there some form of motivation watching people?
Just
Like,
I
know that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
though. Like, you're motivated.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a good question because I'm narcissistic.
No, don't worry.
So
Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm a narcissist.
You have to be. To be
And-
successful, you sometimes have to be.
And it's flattering when people come in and they're like, "Yo, you're Taylor Atwood," and let me get a
It
picture.
hypes you
and
up a
this.
little bit, yeah.
So it's like, all right, I'll go a little. I'll go a little heavier on this set, maybe, or I'll go a little harder.
But there's nothing wrong
But
with that, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's
a lot
not
of people
every
get
day.
messed up.
That's the thing, is like,
Yeah.
people they mistake the motivation that I need to have it every day versus the discipline that you
the
do
discipline
need to
that
have
matters,
every day.
yeah.
It's the discipline. The motivation should only be there sporadically when
Yeah.
you truly need it.
Yeah.
It's the discipline that needs to be with you 24/7 to say, hey, sacrifice.
Yeah.
Dude, growing up, man, I'm sure you went through this. I didn't go to any parties.
Oh, no.
I didn't do shit. I didn't hang out with anyone.
I got made fun of for it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
Like I said, I was a
homebody.
Yeah, I was the kid that never went out. I was the kid that all my friends went out and hung out on the street. I'm the one bringing my stick with me.
Yeah.
And people used to make fun of me all the time. They used to be like, dude, you're such a loser. Like, what are you doing?
I used to, in parties that I did go to, I'd had a football with me in my hand at all times.
That's just,
It was weird, but like,
it's weird thinking now. Like
Yeah.
back then I was like, damn, maybe like I am kind of weird, but like, it's all right. Like whatever. But now looking back, I'm like, the successful people that do that, I'm like, damn, like they have the same kind of story. It's like,
listen, when I look at anyone in any realm, like rappers or musicians or business entrepreneurs, they are on 24/7. They literally have to tell themselves to turn it off. Like, there's other people, if you're trying to motivate, I think this goes back to the extrinsic versus intrinsic. If you have to
I still
tell
don't
yourself,
know what those two words mean. So it's
the,
okay.
the extrinsic,
go. I
if
understand.
You have to
I understand,
extrinsically tell yourself that I have to do this today. I got to stay motivated. I got to do it. You're probably in the wrong field.
Yeah, no, and that's what I said.
Because again, the intrinsic motivation is you have to tell me to stop. Like when I like rap, so I follow some of the profiles on Instagram, and like the baby or Lil Baby or whoever it may be, they're rapping literally everywhere they go. They're
Nonstop.
turning in. They can start rapping about this cup or this
nonstop.
paper.
Because they're
And
thinking about all the
they're
time.
all
stay
the
afloat.
they're on all
which
the time.
is what you need
And-
to be successful.
And even Drake or Lil Wayne, they were always in the studio 24/7. Kevin Hart,
He's
The
fun as
Rock,
fuck, yeah. They're all committed, but
entrepreneurs.
that's why, like,
But-
sometimes when people like talk about Tom Brady and they're
Tom
like,
Brady.
dude, he's a psychopath. I'm like, am I psycho? Like, I could used to do the same thing. I was like literally every single day, nonstop. It's about what I was doing at the
Yeah.
time. Like that's just, and some people call it addictive personality. No, I just like, when I'm focused on something, I am like every minute of my day and like every ounce of like my blood goes into it. And that's just the way I do it.
Right. And I think Steve Jobs said it, where he was like, well, I don't remember exactly the quote that he used, but it makes it easier because it's hard starting a business, let's say. If you don't love what you're doing, if you're not intrinsically motivated, and you don't love what you're actually trying to strive for, you're going to quit immediately because you just don't have it in you.
You don't have the
it's
killer
It's
instinct.
hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah.
And there are people out there that actually are motivated intrinsically that are going to kick your ass. And guess what? They're fucking sharks, and they're going to eat your ass alive.
Everything you do, there's some, like I said, second best always tries harder. There's always someone out there that's waiting for you to slip up. And everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And like a lot of people don't realize in business, because I know a lot of people want to get into their own shit and be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Which is good.
Which is great.
Perfectly fine, yeah.
But you better be a killer.
Yeah.
Because there are people out there such as yourself, that both of you, that are very, very competitive. And
you have to be competitive.
They not necessarily want to see you fail. Maybe they do. But they're doing everything in their power. They're on 24/7.
No, that's why I love it. I'm telling you, like, I love when people like copy our stuff, or like people like will throw digs at us on IG, or like something happen. I love competition, like gym competition, like business in a sense competition. Like they fuck with the wrong people. Like that's how like I am like a killer with that stuff. Like I will literally.
Right.
Like, that's just the way I do
Rising
it.
tide lifts all boats too. So.
Yeah.
Put that on another shirt.
Another shirt?
That's a good That's
a good quote, right?
Shit.
No more shit.
This is good.
I do.
This
like
is good content. We need more.
Good content, yeah.
Can you write that down? We need more of that. That was, bro. Why don't you do the shirts and stuff?
I do the shirts. I don't know how to design that shit. You went to school for graphic design, right?
That was such. If I did tattoos, I would get that tattooed.
So how about we go back? Let's deal more with dealing with failure and success. That kind of plays off motivation in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like we kind of talked about like dealing with discipline instead of motivation and whatnot, and that would kind of play more into failure. But in terms of succeeding, you're obviously like number one. Like you're the best powerlifter in the world right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you prevent getting complacent? Because a lot of people get to the very top. They get to like the NBA, the NFL, or they get, their first album dropped and it goes platinum, and they get a lot of success from it. But after that, they kind of just like don't do anything else.
I love that. I remember like
How do
last
you-
year, people like coming for you. You're like, okay.
I think I have a great team around me, because I'm not shit. I'm not the best.
Yeah.
What is the best? It's an arbitrary thing that people have made up that you consider yourself the best. All right, well, for me, I think what I've tried to do is, and this is getting philosophical now, I don't think of the weight as a number. I never say I want to reach this number, because then I'm setting a limit on myself. And when you set that limit, it's like, that's it. All right.
That applies to everything.
And that's everything. And what happens is you're only pushing yourself. You're putting a ceiling on whatever goal it is you're trying to achieve. So for me, like trying to stay complacent, I know I can, like after every meet, even after the one that I did in June, where I became the best in the world. After the meet, I said, "Fuck, I could have did more."
Bro, I remember, we're all standing at the Scarsdale gym watching, and I remember, what was your last deadlift?
750.
I remember watching it. Everyone people were like running around the gym so hyped, and I like didn't even move. I was like, I know he can do more than that. What the fuck?
And that's it.
But that's like, you've always done that though.
Yeah, I've always been in that mindset of after every meet, everyone sees me doing these ungodly numbers, and I come out of the meet, it's a blessing and a curse with my coach too, because I'll never forget this. So I lost 2017 Worlds in Belarus. I lost second. My coach says, "But you hit a 5 kg PR."
I would have been fucking pissed.
I said, "What?" I said, I did what? We fucking lost.
But that's powerlifting though. That's powerlifting.
So that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's where I think separates me. Is like, I am literally there to win.
Bro,
Be number one.
The records don't matter.
Fuck
Only for the
records. I am
championships.
wanting. I want to win. I want to beat everyone there,
dude.
So it's that. I didn't even realize that he was in that mindset of just trying to look at the silver lining of everything.
Pissed.
And that's the difference between some people and others.
Yeah.
And I didn't even it didn't even dawn on me that I hit a 5 kg PR. I just lost.
Yeah.
Fuck the PR. I don't give a shit how strong. If I got better. Like, no, I'm there to fucking win. I don't care if I didn't hit my PR. As long as I win, I'm good.
Yeah. That's the same thing with like football too. You have like an all-time rushing record, one game, and you're like, I fucking lost.
Yeah, I lost. It didn't matter. Yeah. I did that in the playoffs.
People always remember the losses and the things you don't do.
I scored 6 touchdowns in our second playoff game to make it to a regional championship. We lost, and
people won't remember that. Those remember the loss. They'll be like,
you guys lost. Like 6 touchdowns, great. But we fucking lost. So
I hate that shit. I feel that though. I'd be pissed. That's why most people that come in, they ask me if I would ever compete, and I tell them I don't know if I don't think I sound like a douche when I say that, but I say the same thing. I'm like, I'm not doing it unless I can fucking win.
Yeah,
that's just the competitive nature.
Listen, there's
no internal wins with me.
Right.
I'm not taking like an internal W. Like I'm gonna win the whole thing, or I'm not doing it.
I'm doing my best now, but there's times in the past where I wouldn't have even thought about entering something new because I knew I was going to lose. And it's so fucking hard for me. It is. And that's one of the reasons why, like, being an entrepreneur for me has been, like, I'd like to start a business, but I'm so afraid of that failure that I'm almost, like, paralyzed by it.
Can't think about that.
I know. Like, and I'm doing better. I'm doing better. Trust me. There's a lot of things in the work that I'm
good.
If you think about failing, you're going to fail.
Right.
If you think about succeeding, you're going to succeed.
That's like
pretty much the mindset.
Like when you ride your bike, you don't look at the tree, because when you look at the tree, you're going to ride towards the tree. You look away from the tree. Right. You look towards success. Damn, Dad's going to be so hyped when he listens to that.
He's going to love that.
He's smiling right now. I'm telling you, he's smiling right now. I just said that.
What's up, Pop?
He's smiling. Shit, he's sitting on the couch right now smiling. That's funny. But yeah, I know, I totally agree with that. I think that, like you said, that motivational mindset, like that, like I'm not going to do it unless I'm winning. That's why sometimes, like when I hear people say like, oh, that's such like a cancerous negative type of motivation, I'm like, I don't think so. I want to win. I'm going to do it to win.
Yeah, I mean, look, everyone is motivated by something different. Mm-hmm. Everyone. Yeah.
Money, family.
So you have to figure out what that person is motivated by. Yeah. So when you say that if it's negative for you, all right, great. If that's keeping you on track and helping you succeed, I'm not going to tell you it's right or wrong.
No, do it.
It's helping you.
It's your life.
So if it's helping you, I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that a lot of people are too hung up on like listening to other people, how they're motivated or how they do things to just do it. Man,
everyone wants to be fucking politically correct, and it's like, dude, that's not how this world works.
No, I feel that.
Just keep it going.
Yeah, I feel that. But when you were talking about the wins and stuff, I feel like I should have started with this about like how I met you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, basically, our cousin Kristen, I don't even know how you know her. You went to high school with her, middle school, whatever, but they're both from Florida. And 3 years ago when we opened, I remember she came down from New York for our grand opening, which we had like 2 people show up to. So shout out those 2 people. So it was like so not cool, but whatever. We'll get into it. And she's like, oh yeah, my friend's coming. He does weightlifting stuff. I'm like, okay, that's cool, thanks. Like everyone does weightlifting stuff. This is before I knew powerlifting at all.
Right.
She's like, no, he's like a big deal. I think he like won some things, some stuff, some competitions. And this is like when I just came back from my first ever meet watching it. And I was like, bro, everyone wins at those things. Everyone gets a medal. I told her that. I'm like, everyone gets a medal. He's probably not that big of a deal. He came in and you're like, oh, hey, what's up? I'm like, what's up, man? Like, yeah, charge you. I think I charged you for a day pass.
Yeah.
I think I charged him for a day pass. I was like, yeah, whatever.
And look, I'm never gonna. I never throw
I
my
know,
name out anywhere.
but
And
it was just funny.
I'm a regular human fucking being.
Exactly, but
Like, treat me
10
like
minutes
that.
later, this one of my friends comes up to me and he's like, "Do you know who that is?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Dude, that's Taylor Atwood." And I was like, I literally was like, I don't know who that is. Like, what does he do? He's like, "Dude, he's a power lifter." I went up to him. I was like, "Yo, can I take like a video?" And then I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, whatever. Can I take a video of you like deadlifting?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." And I asked him, I was like, "Yo, like, what's a bigger deal, like USAPL or like IPF? I don't know what IPF is." And he's like, what?" I'm like, holy shit, this guy. And like ever since then, like I tell that story because I'm like, but this is the type of guy you are though. Like you came in and were just like, yeah, like whatever, who cares? Like I'm just a normal dude.
Again, I don't like to think of myself as that, as like this big deal because, again, it is just powerlifting. Like I'm not saving the world. Like there's a lot of fucking things out there where when people look at me and consider me an inspiration, I'm like, dude, there's so many more things that
You're
are
like
inspiring
thinking back,
out
like,
there.
damn, I was like face down in a bar like 6 years. Nah, I feel that though. I feel that. I get that sometimes, like with business stuff, like people will message me and they're like, "Dude, like I want to open a gym just like that," or like they talk about something like that, and I'm like, don't look at me for motivation. Look at me like, oh, like he did it, I could do that.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell most people when they say those types of things. Like, you don't want to be like me. Like he said every episode, he says this. Like you don't want to be the Walmart version of someone. You want to see what they do and try to be better.
Yeah, be better.
And that's what I tell everyone. Just you don't want to be like someone. You want to be better.
Yeah. Now, again, there's like these kids that DM me all the fucking time that are like 16, 18, and they're like, "I'm coming for you, man." I'm like,
that's just
all
like, all right, let's go.
Like, the fuck out of my DM.
I would never do that.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Look at your peers.
Oh God.
Look at your peers.
Go from there.
Don't worry about me because you're not reaching me anytime
He's looking
soon.
for the reply so he can repost it.
Yeah, of course. But still, it's like, all right, keep that motivation. That's fine. But are you better than your peers? That's what you have to first set that bar. It's like, all right, in my age group or amongst the people that I compete with, am I better than them?
Yeah.
Then you start to come after whoever it is.
Small goals build up the big goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because when you start to look at the macro view all the time, you miss a lot of minute detail. And that's where champions are made, man.
And the minute details. Like everyone says that. That's like,
it's all in
but people
detail.
overlook that aspect though. Like there are literally things like if you like go back to powerlifting, like when you walk out of your squat, you take the same step. And it's like when you don't do something like that, you know right off the bat. Like right off the bat, I fucked up something.
Oh yeah.
Like it's even like when I used to play lacrosse and I used to face off, it was the same way. Like I knew if something didn't feel right or I forgot to do something, that was it.
Yeah.
But most of my life, people are like, "That's just mentally weak." I'm like, no. For you, it might be mentally weak. For me, it's like I'm a perfectionist and I know what it has to take to be at that next level.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. Like the little things, like when you're about to squat and someone walks in front of you, you're just like,
Or stands in front of the mirror.
Nah, that doesn't even bother me.
yeah, but there's got to be something that like if you mess up.
Nah, man. On here it says the flow state.
Where the hell
And
does it say that?
on the back.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, you didn't read it. So
Doesn't read it all.
the flow
I
state
don't have that.
is,
One. I don't have that one.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do. So the flow state is it's very hard to achieve. And there's actually a book on it. It's called Making Superman. For anyone, I suggest you read it that don't know what the flow state is. But it's essentially like tunnel vision. And for me, that's literally how it is. Like, so if you look up my YouTube video at Nationals in past June, you saw the fucking lights in the background and everything. And I got so many messages afterwards.
I asked you the
like,
same thing.
They were like, how did you get or not get distracted by those lights?
Tunnel vision.
And I was like, dude, what lights? And that's not even an understatement.
No,
Like,
I feel
I
that.
literally was under the weight, lifting it, not knowing that the lights were even on or off, whatever it is. I am so focused on just lifting the weight that the lights were just like.
You
I don't
like
even think.
everything gets like drowned out. Like I used to play in front of like 15,000 people, And like when you're at the center of the field, like 15,000 people screaming and the music's playing, and like it's just like drum. Like I don't hear anything, I don't see anything, I don't hear anything. It's like you're so focused that like that's all you have to focus on. But like the lights thing, I was even like that. I would fucking be like, what the hell's going on?
It was a good thought, but in theory, but not an actual.
The 666 thing, that was like, I remember that was her first meet, Sierra's meet, and she was like, that's the devil. I'm like, yeah, this is powerlifting. Welcome. Like you should go see like RPS.
Yeah, that was so Gino, he's our hype man. At these meets, he's the announcer.
Yeah.
And he wears these like costumes. He's a character.
He gets into it.
He's a character.
He gets into it.
And his thing, like at every meet before, again, powerlifting was big, it was 666. That was like the mark of the beast. And he would go into this whole thing. So they made anytime anyone did 666 pounds, they made it a big deal. And
Jesus.
It's kind of just stuck with us now.
Yeah. All right. So one more thing I want to go. So we were talking, like, obviously the whole topic is motivation, like mindset and discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And you just said about like the lights and everything. What is your take on like when you're getting ready to go for a big lift, like getting all your energy into it, like with anything, like getting hit, like slapped, like the screaming, the hype, like do you use that for motivation? It's like external, I guess, like if that's the right word. Do you like that is what I'm saying?
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not
into that. I don't like being touched, being hit, yelled at. That's why I said to the huddle thing. In the huddle, I'm never in the middle. I'm always outside. Don't talk to me. Don't hit me. Don't get me hyped up. Let me focus and think about it.
So I do a lot of meditating. I use an app called Headspace.
Shout out Headspace. Sponsor one day.
Yeah. And I probably do around I try to do minimum 5 minutes, max 10 minutes a day.
Okay.
And what that helps me with, again, is mental health, mental stability, but also just staying focused. And that's what I had a problem with, like this whole mental health thing. A lot of people don't focus on their mental health, and it's sad. But then they want to say, "Oh, the reason why this happened was because of this and that and this and that," and they're blaming every external factor other than themselves.
Yeah,
right.
It's always someone else. It's never their fault.
It's the easiest.
Yeah,
it's the easiest route.
No, and when you're at the top of the top, when you're these elite athletes, there's a great Netflix show. It's called The Playbook.
The Playbook.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I just saw it.
Playbook.
I think I just saw it.
So if you get a chance, watch the episode with Serena Williams' coach.
Yeah.
I forget his name. He's French.
Okay.
But the best I think description of a top level athlete was his. And what he said was a top level athlete, they're so elite that if they're losing, because they hate losing.
Right.
They will literally quit trying in the middle of a match or whatever it is to cope with them losing and just say at the end of the match or game, I didn't lose, I quit. I didn't lose, I quit. I wasn't trying. So I can't lose. I didn't lose.
I've done that before.
Right.
I've been like, no, I just gave up.
No, I gave up.
Yeah. Which fucks me over more because I'm like, God damn it. I
said
the worst then.
And that's where, from a mental capacity and mental state, you have to be able to overcome any negative shit that happens in the moment. And that's where headspace and meditation helps, because I can literally recalibrate what's happening, whether I like it or not. I just have to come to the realization that it's happening.
Yeah.
And in 2017, again, I lost at a world championship, and I knew I was losing, and not that I was okay with it, but I had to recalibrate. I didn't give up. I tried my fucking ass off. Whereas there were other people that faked injuries, literally faked injuries, and didn't finish the meet, or they were like, oh, I'm cramping up. I didn't feel like finishing.
And powerlifting, the sport is like you could do that so easily.
Yeah, it's so easy.
And then it's an excuse like, oh, I hit bench and squat. I didn't deadlift because I got hurt.
Right.
It's like, well, if I would have, I would have beaten. Like,
exactly.
But again, that's what makes him the GOAT, is because he does that. And that's what makes him so successful. Is like what you were saying, like what the discipline aspect of it is, like he always finishes a meet, or he will attempt to finish the meet if you can't, because you
get hurt. I bombed at the 2015 Arnold. Bombed on squat.
Yeah,
I still had to bench and deadlift. Once I bombed, I walked back. I'm with my dad and coach, and they're like, "Well, what do you want to do?" I'm like, "I want to fucking finish."
Yeah,
it didn't count.
That's like the mindset thing. You're like, I am not like.
But I was like, no, because I'm gonna show everyone that even though I bombed on squat, which I shouldn't have, it was all technical bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show everyone that I have the biggest bench here. And I have the biggest deadlift, which I did.
Right. Yeah.
So it puts in their mind in future meets.
Shit.
I'm that fucking guy.
I'm fucking coming.
It's all short-term memory. You just kind of just got to forget what just happened. You fucked up the squat.
Yeah, that was what I was going to go into.
Keep on going with points.
So there are different. So it's like with sports, like when you're running back, you miss an assignment, short-term memory, get to the next one. Like face-offs are the same way. You lose one, get to the next one. What's your thoughts on that?
I think football helped me tremendously with having a short-term memory.
Okay.
Not in the classroom, but on the football field.
So you're a pro short-term memory.
Oh, 100%. Okay. 100%. And that's where a lot of people miss the bar on a lot of this powerlifting, even in business.
I miss it. I'm not good at it.
They internalize this failure, and it's like, and then they get paralyzed by it. It's like, nah, man, keep moving.
Yeah.
Because football, again, we would come out, we'd lose 1 week, and we have to come right back on. I'd play on a Friday. We have to come back on Sunday, well, Saturday for film, rest Sunday, but come back Monday and ready for the next opponent.
Yeah.
So, and even in the game, if I fumbled the ball or if I missed the block, it's like short term, don't do it again.
Yeah.
All right, fuck it. Keep going.
I'm so bad with that. Playing was the same thing. I'm so bad. Like if I lose one, like let's say like I get fast break for a goal, like not that I'm like down on myself, but I go into the next one thinking about like using that. Like I just fucking lost. Like I'm gonna put one in this kid right now. Watch. Like that's what I do.
Yeah.
Which it's technically not. It's like short term because I'm using it, but I'm not like just forgetting about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's two different aspects, I guess. That's something that I'm just really bad at. Like forgetting about it, focus on the next one. Which it killed me. My whole career, it killed me.
And you can work on that. You can work on a lot of this.
Yeah.
This is all like, it's essentially muscle memory.
Yeah.
If you're not working it and you're continuously falling back on your behavior, it's hard to change. It's a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
But you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want anyone to think that it's like we were born this way.
I didn't
think about this.
There's a lot of shit you can change in your life. And
who knows, in like 4 or 5 years, I might be completely different.
Right.
Like again, 4 or 5 years, you might have a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
It might be the still motivational aspect, but you might be focusing on something else. Like it's just about how you evolve, I guess.
I'm in business school and I'm in behavioral economics.
Oh God, it's probably such like a psychological whirlwind,
dude. But it's so interesting.
Bro, I used to love those like
but
ethics
it's so
classes.
interesting.
They're so interesting
because it's human psychology.
Yeah,
and
from a business aspect,
right? When I say behavioral economics, everyone's like, oh, economics. It's not economics. No. It incorporates the theory behind economics, but then it incorporates how humans actually behave.
I would love that.
Because I hate economics because in theory, we're supposed to, this is like, we're not logical. People say we're logical. We're not logical. We're illogical. And our behavior is, it's just, it's not rational.
Uses this sometimes more than this.
And so when I think about like marketing, when I think of pricing, it's all a tactic to get you to behave a certain way.
100%.
So we know the person teaching is a social psychologist, but he has a minor in economics. So we're talking about economics somewhat, but it's more social psychology.
I think that is like the most all of those classes, like I took a business ethics class. It was like all the ethical things about like if like do you save 1 or save 100, like all those type of things. And I'm telling you, like they were super interesting because you got to learn about like how people make decisions, like how to force people to make certain decisions, like how to direct people one way when actually leading the right people. Like it's like a whole different aspect. I loved it.
Yeah.
It like helps you so much in business now.
And even as a leader, because you're dealing with so many different personalities, you're trying to figure out how do you intrinsically or extrinsically motivate your employees or the people around you, whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's a very important. Being good leaders. I know I had a coach one time that was always like, not everyone likes a good leader, but they respect him. You don't have to be the most liked person in the world.
And guess what? You're not going to be the most liked.
No way.
Because you know where you need to take your business.
Yeah.
And not everyone is going to be on board with that.
No. But you know,
but you're
the leader. You make the decision.
You're making that decision, and whether it's right or wrong.
No, yeah, it's. But I've made many wrong decisions.
Yeah.
But
the reason why I even bring up behavioral economics is because what we talk about is changing behavior.
Yeah.
Change behavior, and you can do that. It's very hard, but it's very attainable if you work at it.
Yeah,
just like anything else.
I would love that. That would be such a great class. Shit.
It is. It is. I love it.
Should have taken.
So I guess let's get into like our last point for today is pretty much just time management because you got a lot going on. You said before you in Columbia, right, for your MBA program.
Yep.
In addition to that, you're doing powerlifting, and then you got a full-time job, and then you have a kid. Like, how do you juggle all that stuff? Like, what are good methods or strategies to manage your time well?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the best time manager. I thought I had time management under control, and now that I have a kid in the mix, it's something that I'm still working at. But what has helped me is just breaking up your day literally in time slots, and also over communicating with whoever it is that you're responsible to or for. So time management is all about communication. It's making sure that you're setting yourself up. Like I have my entire week planned out, like in hour slots. Today was a little different. I was an hour late because I had to take the kid to the doctor for his shots. So there's things that are going to get thrown into the mix that will throw a wrench in, but
that comes with it.
Yeah, you stick and move. Yeah. But for the most part, like I am very regimented, and some people can't do that. Some people are not regimented. It's hard.
I'm not.
I'm a planner, and short-term planner. I'm not a long-term planner. I'm a short-term planner, and sometimes I have to deviate from the plan. And that's another thing is I don't get caught up on if I'm an hour late, I was at least communicating, hey, I'm running late. Hey, I'm running late. It probably pissed you guys off, but I'm at least communicating.
I was sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, he was watching whatever.
And that's another thing is I am very respectful of other people's time. So that's another aspect of time management is just making sure that you're respectful of other people's time. Be where you're supposed to be, even though I wasn't. Be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. Yeah. I was always brought up in sports, if you're 5 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
The phrase
if you're late,
is,
you're fired.
Yep, early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. Yeah. Put that on a shirt.
Do it.
Third shirt.
You're welcome.
That's a good
I'm
phrase,
getting royalties on all these three.
That's it. But I do the same thing. I have terrible time management. Ever since I was a kid, terrible time management. But I live by that. Early on is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. Yeah. If I have to be somewhere at 5 o'clock, I'll be there at 3:30. Yeah. I like to set time aside. But I'm terrible at time management. Like, that's the only thing that I need to work on more. But, like, I see you do it, so I'm like, okay, like I might be able to do it. I don't go to Columbia, just, but like
that doesn't mean anything.
No, I'm saying like I have my own things I have to take care of. So I see you do it. I'm like, I could do that.
I can't break it into time slots, but how I do it is the day before, the night before, I'll list out everything I want to get done the next day, tomorrow, and I'll like write down a number next to each one. So to pretty much prioritize each item I got to finish.
That's why he's the Iron Vault financial advisor.
don't even know anything about finance.
Doesn't matter.
But I try to prioritize everything, and then I'll try to like make my way through the list the next day. And then whatever I don't finish, I don't finish. But that's kind of my way to time manage things.
Mm-hmm.
I tried that yesterday. It didn't work. I tried it. Literally, I tried it. I was like, I'm going to prioritize when I went to the Jets game, a Dolphins game, I was like, I'm going to prioritize what I have to do.
Fuck you up.
I was like, I literally wrote like 3 things, and I was like, just delete it. I'm not even going to do that. I'll just do it later. I stayed up till like 4 a.m. doing the video, the last podcast. I was like, I can't do that.
But that's the thing.
It's too stressful for me.
You have to. It's a behavior.
Yeah.
It's a behavior change.
Yep.
Because you're used to
Something that I gotta
not
work on,
having
yeah.
to work on time
Habit.
management. And it's something that is an art.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And if it's something that you think you can, if you think it's going to help you in the long term to free up time, because that's essentially what time management is you're trying to free up your time so that you're not working or doing something
Till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
that's-
thrive at that time though. That's my problem.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like the
creative.
late night. I am like, that's where I'm like pushing workout. Like I'm 3 a.m. crushing it.
So then prioritize that at night, and then during the day, make sure you're getting some sleep or whatever it may be, so that you're able to perform at night.
Yeah, but that's time management.
That's time management.
That's something I gotta work on. Maybe I'll enroll at Columbia. I might not get in.
I don't
but
think
like,
you'll get in, but
go to that class, right?
yeah.
I might get in.
No. Well, actually, maybe. I don't know.
Fuck.
It depends what you get your MBA now.
No, I've never.
No
I
shot.
can't do that. I'm sorry. I'll leave that up to you. Maybe we'll make him financial advisor.
Yeah, he'll do a good
Yeah,
job.
because you suck.
I could talk about NBA all day, but I'm not going to.
No. Is that everything you got? Everything you got?
That's it for me. You want to go into the member question segment, or you want to do that other question we had in mind?
Oh, we got member questions?
Yeah. Let me pull out my phone. Question.
All right, so we could do this question. It's pretty funny. It's random. Would you rather fight a toddler in a Navy SEAL's body or a Navy SEAL in a toddler's body? It's hand-to-hand combat, no weapons.
No weapons?
No weapons.
A toddler in a Navy SEAL's body,
Yep.
or a
Navy SEAL in a toddler's body.
Damn.
that is a tough one.
I feel
actually.
like I could just kick the toddler in the head.
Yeah, but he's got like.
But he's
nimble.
got
It's
combat.
gonna catch that shit.
And babies are like literally indestructible. My son has like taken jumps. He sees my son has zero.
Oh yeah,
You'll see him. He has
crazy.
zero like fear. Like he will like jump off windowsills backwards. So I think.
I don't know, but a Navy SEAL, like, again, I'm only 5'6", 166,
Yeah, but, like-
67 pounds. Like, and toddlers, they still know what to do.
Yeah. So now you
I don't
you
know.
make him like 6'5", like 230.
I'd probably rather fight. Yeah, I'd fight the toddler.
Yeah, I would definitely fight the toddler.
I'd
I think
fight the
I think I have a better chance.
I feel like the toddler in Navy SEAL's body though wouldn't be like he doesn't have like the coordination, so I could just
Yeah,
like,
but their
trip him or some shit.
babies are just like indestructible. I ran my son's toe over with a door, like broke his toe. He cried for like 5 minutes and then he was fine.
Child Protective Services better not watch this.
He did it by accident. I was trying to get in the
Don't
room.
report him, please.
It's okay.
He's okay now.
It's okay. He's fine now. Maybe we should have him on the podcast. Whatever.
Yeah.
But
Let's go.
that's it. All right. So that's it. Let's wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed this episode, you guys are watching on YouTube, click that subscribe button and comment down below. Shout out Taylor Atwood. Say thank you, everyone. Right? I think we should start doing that, saying thank you to our guests because we don't do a good job saying thank you. Because
No, we
I'm going to
haven't
see you in 5 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But make sure you guys follow him on Instagram. What is your IG?
T_Atwood.
All right, we'll link it down below. If you guys are watching on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, share it with your no friends because, like I said, we've all been there before. And I guess with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next episode.